Okay, you guys. Yeah, I'm Chuck Carbia. It's really great to be here today. This is Kelly Manor. Yeah, I'm here to talk about how collaboration has changed and shaped my life. I've discovered that collaboration kind of seeps its way in everything that I do in my life now. So, and let's hear it for Cassidy back there changing the slides. Great job. And thank you, Morgan, for putting this on. All right, I'm going to start with a couple of things that I've done recently. Recently, I did a project, we did a project called Project Outreach. We were very proud to be awarded the Volunteers of the Year Award from the Florida Network of Children and Families. What we did was we went into the runaway shelter here in Tallahassee, and they had 8 rooms that they had just freshly painted. But freshly painted, they look like prison cells still. And we went in and we curated 8 artists to come in and take a room. Each artist got a room, and they got to do whatever they wanted in the room here. So this is Linda Hall. Did a beautiful job. And you can keep changing through those. Johnny Warren. What was really great was through this collaboration, Judy Russian's room here. The runaway shelter was really great about letting us do whatever we wanted. So while the artists got to do whatever they wanted, it was really about the collaboration between the runaway shelter and the artists that made it a really special kind of thing. I'm going to take this off here. And I apologize, this is not going to be a well-rehearsed. We're going to make it happen, though. All right, can you backtrack one there, Cassie? I'm sorry. No, too far. There you go, right there. All right, so as a teacher, oh, by the way, I teach at FSU, I teach at FAMU, I teach at Chipola College. Yeah, Chipola College. It's a very, and so I collaborate with my students, and I try to teach them about collaborating. So what I did, this is a project, an example of a collaborative project. What we did was, the students did like about 100 drawings and paintings of iconic imagery from their childhood. We did a big, huge mural of them, and you can switch now. And then we gridded it up, and we did an image of a dollar bill over the front of it. And that's what it looked like. So that's about a 10-foot long by 4-foot tall. You know what we did. Came out pretty good. All right. Okay. I also do sculpture. This is a project. This is a piece that I collaborated with Kelly on. It was called Crying Time, and it was kind of like a self-portrait. It's a behemoth and a leviathan who are not only singing to each other, singing a duet together, but they're kind of fighting. But we're good. We're good, right? Yes. Kelly is also my partner and my fiance. I built all the understructure for the sculpture, and the video work. That's a real live video eye that was playing inside of the sculpture. And Kelly did all of this. You can go ahead and switch it, Cassie. Kelly did all of the fabric work. Now, I also, through this project, I realized that I'm really good at dressing up little birds in outfits. And this is something I never would have guessed in my life that I was really good at, but I'm really good at it. You can switch to the next one. Look at that guy. It's really sad. All right, so try putting boots on a bird. Okay. These are just a few things that I learned as an artist collaborating with other artists. Because I don't really sew. Or collect taxidermy eels. Okay. All right, so I'm going to backtrack a little bit and tell you guys a little bit about myself. I was born in New York City. You can switch. But I was raised down in South Florida, in Port St. Lucie. I was kind of a lonely kid. not a lot going on there. And I worked in sign shops. From the time I was able to start working, I always worked in sign shops. Especially Signs Now. I always found myself working in a Signs Now. Okay, we switched there. Until I did my undergrad here at FSU. And I got into the BFA program, and when I graduated, I found myself making 8-foot by 8-foot pastel drawings like this. That's called the stinky sock pile. All right. But after I graduated, you can hold on that one for a second. After I graduated, I spent about 10 years working in the sign business. I made all these signs. I made signs like these. And I also played music. I've always played music, and while I was working in the sign business, I was trying to be a rock star. I was in a lot of bands. None really succeeded. And so what happened after 10 years, I decided, and you switch guys. I decided to apply for grad school, and I got accepted at USF in Tampa. USF, Bulls? And there, things changed for me a lot. We can switch to the next one. I started making paintings like that. I started out of Japanese art. And probably the most important thing that happened to me, though, when I got to USF, is I met this guy. This is Ryan Berg. Looks pretty normal, right? You can hold on that one for a second. This guy pulled up to me one day. I was walking through the parking lot. He pulled up to me in a golf cart. And he asked me if I was be interested in playing in his glam rock band. And as Morgan said earlier, Morgan, I don't know if you remember Morgan, this guy. When he started here, he talked about saying yes, right? And so I said yes. I said, I'll play in a glam rock band. And switch. And then I did that. And so what we were just doing it for fun. We were a glam rock band. We would come up with a theme for costumes. You can change it. There you go, right? So all my time I wanted to be a rock star, and I just had to say yes to this idea of working with people. And we come up with a theme. So this was springtime, so we were all springtime things. I was Bruce Sparklestein. Anyway, you get the idea. You can switch to the next one. This was birthday theme. This was Pinata Man. This is back to springtime. That was Hedgehog Man. And so we did this stuff for fun, and it was really just we were just living this kind of fantasy thing, doing this fun thing of being in a glam rock band and playing rock and roll songs. You can switch to the next one. Until we did this show, which we did this show right here. It was called Have a Look, Things Little Girls Like. And we did this in the CAM, the Contemporary Art Museum in Tampa. And what happened was we started to realize that this format that we were working in had a lot of potential for that. Okay, switch to the next one. This was the first show that we did using the Bert and Ernie characters. We started using Bert and Ernie as characters in our work. And this piece was called Yours Truly? Yes. And this was in Brooklyn. We did this piece. You can switch to the next one. And what happened was we started using Bert and Ernie characters as a way to talk about something simple like friendship. And how in a friendship things can go wrong. And this piece, Yours Truly, was, let's switch to the next one. Kelly kind of came in between me and Bert, where it was, you know, you've all heard of a friend having a girlfriend, and then their best friend comes along and takes the girl away. It's a terrible thing to do. But we all know about that kind of simple story, that simple kind of story of heartbreak and tragedy. And so we started using these characters, and combined with these characters, we were singing these kind of really sad, beautiful love songs, country love songs. I think right here we were singing, well, not there. there. We were singing Little Green Apples. All right, well, you can switch to the next one now. And this was a piece we did in at 621 Gallery. It was called All That Heaven Will Allow. You switch here, yes. And we kept pushing the visual elements of how horrible the heartbreak could be. The makeup's a little cold, a little chilly. All right. This was a closing piece we did. It was called "Why Have You Left That One You Left for Me?" And in this piece, Kelly actually became Bert because Bert was gone, and so she became Bert in this piece. So we started taking our costumes and melding them together and clashing them together. All right, switch. Another thing I realized by collaborating and getting involved in this kind of stuff is that I could talk about real intimate things that happened to me as a child. I told you I was a lonely kid in Port St. Lucie. So this piece here was called Making Love Out of Nothing at All. And this piece was about all the girls that never went out with me, that ignored me, coming back and apologizing to me. So Lexi hung up there, and she sang songs of apology to me. Now again, I know for sure that I would never have even comprehended that I could have all these girls come back and apologize to me if it wasn't for saying yes to that situation where Ryan asked me to be in this band, and understanding that by trusting in other artists, that what they're bringing to the table and what I have to bring to the table, that we can create something that's bigger and actually more powerful. Okay, let's switch. This is a piece we did. It was called Fountain of Sorrow. Everything we do is horribly sad. Okay, you can switch to the next one. And one thing that I'm starting to understand about what happens when we do these Glitter Chariot performances is that I feel like what it is that I think what it's like when you're at a performance watching us, it's kind of like a little bit of a voyeurism where you're kind of watching but you don't feel like you should be watching. But specifically, I think there's this kind of undefinable thing that happens in a relationship where it's the greatest thing that could have ever happened to you in your life, and it feels magical and fantastical, but it's also could be the most horrible thing that you've experienced in your life. And that undefinable feeling of a relationship, I think we're starting to tap into that, what that feels like when you watch our performances. You can switch to the next one. Because we're a mess up there, you guys. We're not professional musicians. I've been playing music all my life, but I dabble in all kinds of instruments. I never consider myself a master musician or a master on guitar or piano or anything. None of the other people that we have in our band are professional musicians. We gather people that we find interesting, that we think can bring something special to a performance. We're also not theater majors. I've been on a stage, but I've never acted in a play before or anything like that. And so there's something also about the performances that's hanging on a thread, that I don't even know if we're going to make it through these performances sometimes, which is terrifying. But I think that translates into what a relationship's really about. All right. So you can switch to the next one there. All right. So what I want to do is I want to show you guys a couple of videos. We're now writing our own music. This video, we have two videos I want to show you all. This one's called "Should Have Been Blonde." It's a song that I wrote in collaboration with Ryan, and we made this video here in Tallahassee. Let's go ahead and start it. Maybe you could dim the lights. foolish can you be to be ruled by jealousy? Would you throw away what we've planned? Why don't you ask your heart? Ask it if we should part. I'm sure like mine, it just won't understand. Smile, I'll smile with you. You cry, I'll cry with you. 'Cause you're the only love I've ever known. Oh, go and break my heart. Don't say that we must